Hi, hello, I'm Noxie, and welcome to Nox in a Box. Let's talk. I was washing the dishes yesterday, and making my way into the kitchen, it seemed like a lot of dishes. But I knew it wasn't. But it looked like a lot of dishes. They were everywhere. Then I started washing them, and by the time I was almost done, I realized, they really weren't that many dishes. But it looked as if there were. The dishes were just piled on top of each other, and there were other dishes on the countertop. If you put a plate on top of a bowl, it looks really high compared to if you were to put a bowl on top of a plate. So that's what happened with the dishes. They were all piled up in the sink and, in a disorganized way. So it looked like there were a lot of them. And I had a thought, maybe sometimes the stresses and worries and fears and challenges of life are simply that, just dishes piled up on top of each other. And it looks like a lot to us, like a lot. But actually, once you start removing, the plates, trying to get them organized, or just maybe not even organizing them, just start washing the first thing you see, they become less and less and less, till finally you're like, there weren't that many dishes to begin with. The problem wasn't that big to begin with. This is not a definitive way to assess things, but it's kind of, a little gumdrop. It's a little gumdrop. Gumdrops are not that big. They're like this big. It's a gumdrop. Okay, maybe it's a bigger gumdrop. It's this big. Because I think that's how I view things sometimes. Like the stacked up dishes in the sink. That's how I view life or situations in my life. But God sees from a bigger, higher perspective. You can see that the dishes are really not that many. But, if you get deflated from just simply walking into the kitchen or opening the tap water and pouring in the dish soap just to be like, let me at least do something, it's easy to give up because it looks like a lot. That's also how I go about washing dishes. Sometimes just getting up and washing dishes from start to finish is, feels like an exercise. So I do small things. I'm like, okay, let me clear out all the pots. If there's anything left over in the pots, let me throw it away. Let me remove any leftovers from the plates, throw those away. And I'm like, okay, I did that. And then I go sit and, I don't know, maybe watch a series for like 5 minutes. Then go back. It's like, okay, I've done that. Now I'm going to pack them nicely into the sink and then open the tap water and pour in the dish soap. Or sometimes I just organize them on the countertop and then open the tap water, pour in the dish soap. Then I'm like, okay, that's done. 5 minutes again. Break, and then come back. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wash all the cups and glasses and cutlery. Leave those out, go back, relax. Okay, next the bowls, the plates. And before I know it, I'm done. That's always like actually a lot of dishes. And it doesn't simply look like there's a lot of dishes, but there is. But this got me thinking of some stories in the Bible, which to anyone, honestly, looked like a lot. But through God's eyes, through his lenses, they weren't that many. A story that came to mind is Joseph. Man, Joseph's story. Like, who could, like, if you want to talk plot twists, like, read the Bible, because they got some serious plot twists. And Joseph's story is one of those plot twists. From where he ended up once his brothers decided his dreams, Joseph's dreams, are too big for his shoes, or they're too wild. Who would have thought he'd end up where he ended up? Same with David, Esther, Ruth. Well, it is clear that the journey walked is not easy. So, yeah, there's that. There's something I read in the Bible, I think today, if not yesterday, says that there's nothing new under the sun. What was will happen again. What will be is already happened. But yeah, there's nothing new underneath the sun. I guess if you want to look at it from outside just a little bit, think of it like the multiverse. If you watch Marvel's Avengers, the multiverse is like these yous in different universal time stamps. And it's like, think of the decisions you could have made that could have turned out differently. Yeah, my brain paused for a moment there. So think of every dream you've ever had. Okay, that's gonna be a lot. Not the dreams you have in your sleep, but like, oh, I want to be this, I want to be an astronaut, a doctor, whatever it may be. And those whatever dreams, I don't know, scuba dive, whatever it may be. And in some universe, you did go to scuba school to learn how to scuba dive, and then you learned how to hold your breath for a really long time, for whatever reason, and then you set a world record. In another universe, you didn't go scuba diving. So the dishes are the dreams, are the dreams, because at the end of the day, it does not matter the course you take. Your story is already written by God. He is the author and finisher of our faith. I'm not sure how that verse links, but he is the beginning and the end. He knows the beginning, he knows the end. In the beginning, he already knew you and your end. Woo, that's crazy. But now, if these dishes are piled up, stacked up on each other, and okay, you start with the cup and the glass and the cutlery and then the bowl and then the plate, and then it gets to the pots, the greasy pots, this just makes me think of every time my mom cooks. She uses a lot of pots. And it's okay because she cooks a lot of sides and they're really nice, but when it's time to wash those dishes, they're not so nice. But now you get to the pots and you're like, I don't know, maybe like me, like I'm gonna go take a 5-minute break, and then I end up watching 6 1-hour episodes of whatever series I'm watching, and then I get tired and I decide to sleep. I'm like, I'll wash the dishes tomorrow. And then that's you forgetting your dream and never going back to it. And I don't know what happens to the dishes. Someone else washes the dishes. Someone else finishes the job you started. Yep. So I think in life we have that one dream that's just always there nagging at us, like, hey, remember me. That dream, that is our end story. So each dish you remove leads to the end story of that dream. Meaning you could have wanted to be a doctor and you were on the path to be a doctor. But for some reason, life turned and you simply ended up being a life coach. But that was always the destination. The destination was always life coach. But somewhere on that path, if you stopped removing the dishes, the dirty dishes, by washing them and making more space in the sink, you never would have gotten to the end goal of life coaching. So I guess my 2 cents of the week is, don't give up on your dirty dishes. Keep going back to them. Don't give up on your dreams. Like an onion, one layer at a time. Okay, I don't like that example. Okay, onions are spicy and they make your eyes watery. So going one layer at a time just takes long and prolongs the suffering to the eyes. So it's better to just go at once. It's like maybe steps. It's like steps. One step at a time. Ooh, yeah. It's like steps. But in the dark. In the dark, I don't know what you do, but when I'm going up or down the stairs, I go very carefully. And I make sure I don't miss a step. Don't give up on the dishes. Don't. Because you might look back. Be it whether you finished the task at hand and you're like, I don't know what all the fussing was about. It wasn't that bad. And you're happy and fulfilled. Or, worse, more annoyingly, you may look back and to see someone who picked up your task, who picked up your dream, and they went through with it, and bada bing, bada boom, you're like, wow, who knew that's where the road led to. And you feel, who knows how you would feel, but it definitely wouldn't be nice. Because obviously, when you finish a task, you get rewarded in one way or the other. Yeah, that's my 2 cents for the week. Bye, and God bless.